So, let me catch you up to speed on October 2020. So on the 1st, I was like, ooh, it's spooky season. And I decided that despite the fact I can't go anywhere and I can't do anything, I'm going to do a Halloween costume. So, started looking online for some inspiration, what am I going to do? And I found this image. And I was like, interesting. And then I was like, what if? So, I've decided I'm going to do Alice from Alice in Wonderland, but kind of inspired by this photo. So she'll have like cards in her head and it's a bit gruesome, not just like... Hi, editing Jasmine here. I just realised that at this moment I forgot to say that now we are going to move on to measuring out all the different bits of fabric that I need, and also that Alice's costume looks a bit like this, and so I'm trying to go from that. Hopefully that will make more sense in a second. So, just done some measuring and cutting, and if you can see, I've got some measurements here. So I think that my waist is about 64 centimetres. I think, maybe, I don't know. So we're going with about 130 centimetres length for the waistband of the pinny thing. And then we're having 4 neck pieces and 2 sleeve pieces. So, neck piece should look something like this when it's done. This is just the template right now. I'm going to need 4 of these plus the seam allowance. This is 30 centimetres along the top and about 8 centimetres down. And this should go like here and make like a little neck thing that she has going on. And then this piece, although it looks quite big, this is an arm piece, 34 centimetres across the top and 7 centimetres to the middle line and 7 centimetres to the bottom line. This piece is going to be folded in half, and this should hopefully wrap around here and form the little sleeve pieces that she has, and those sleeve pieces will attach to the blue t-shirt when I have cut it down, and I think I'm going to cut it to about 14 centimetres, which is something like this. Might be a little longer actually. Just so that we have enough sleeve left, and so that we have enough room to attach things to it. So as I said, the waistband is going to be about 120 centimetres long, 130, and it's going to be about 5 centimetres high, but obviously again I'm doubling it over, so that's going to be, so the actual piece of fabric I need is 10 centimetres long. Which brings me to my other thing. This white t-shirt that I have is got quite a low neck, which is fine. I'm not actually wearing it, I'm just cutting it up. But I think that the arm span from one arm to the other arm is about 140 centimetres. So if we can get a cohesive 10 centimetre strip of white fabric going from, that we basically cut from one arm right to the other arm and then sew it over, I think that should work. And then then we're going to make a little pinny for ourselves, little apron, and this is 20 centimetres on top 20 centimetres down, but I've added curved corners to make it look more like actual clothes rather than just a thing that I did. And I think this is going to be cut out of the bottom of the t-shirt, and then the other bits hopefully we'll be able to get out of this. I'm making one apron piece, 2 of the sleeve pieces, 1 for each arm, and 4 of the neck pieces because I'm doubling them up and sewing them. It's confusing. Yeah, so most of the fabric will be doubled up over itself. However, the apron won't be because it's just an apron and it's not really being used for anything. So, let's get to sketching and cutting. So, I've just finished tracing around my pattern. And now, we're going to cut it out. So, it's cut out, and now we're going to get sewing. So, I'm just sewing through the edges of the little neck pieces using the little sewing machine here. I've done the first one, just the outside edge, because the top edge is going to attach to the t-shirt. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it inside out, like so, and then I'm going to pin the top edge to the t-shirt, and I'm going to sew along that, so hopefully should end up with something a bit like this on either side. First though, I'm going to sew this. So, I've sewed this on messily, and I've left this a bit loose because I think it might be a bit long. Then I'm going to pin this bit on, and I'm going to sew it up, and so hopefully we should have our little collar. So, just pinned this seam of the sleeve bits, and I'm going to make some tubes and then turn them inside out. Okay, so at this point I did the same thing to the other sleeve, then I turned the tubes inside out, then I basically attached them to the sleeve, which had been cut at this point to about this length. You'll see in a minute. So I have now successfully completed the collar and the sleeves. So now I'm going to move on and do the belt and the pinny. Okay, so weirdly, didn't get much footage of me doing the belt, maybe because of a certain kitten. However, basically, what I did was I took the 10cm wide, really long strip of fabric, and I also got a strip of webbing, which is basically like the adjustable bit of a rucksack strap, or like what you might have for a guitar strap. So I took that and I sewed it inside the belt, and then I sewed up the ends, and then we had the belt. Okay, and here's what the belt looks like done. This actually has the apron attached to it. But yeah, this is what the belt looks like. It's a tube of fabric with the webbing sewed inside of it. You can see the seam, but that goes on the inside when you're wearing it. Yeah, and I've just sewn the ends up there, and the same on the other side. One thing to mention is because it's cut from a t-shirt, you can actually see the seams of the t-shirt that it came from. Just a thing if you're doing something similar. If you use a t-shirt, you'll likely be able to see the seams from the t-shirt. So then I moved on to making the little apron bit that I made, and yeah, it's basically just a square of fabric with some hems on the edge, and I did a bit of decorative sewing with a light blue thread just to make it look a bit prettier.